Hey guys, Matt again with UFOs Above Us. Okay, today I'm going to start bringing in some pictures of artifacts on the moon. And I've taken hundreds of these over the last year and a half. But I'm going to kind of slowly work into this because I've got some really compelling evidence that there's intelligent design structures on the moon. I'm just going to start off with a couple here just to kind of ease folks into this because I want to encourage you. It's a reality, and you'll see over time that there are structures on the moon, but it's not something we have to panic about. So let's look at a couple of these and we'll talk about them. All right, first off is this bridge on the moon. It's one of the first pictures. There's an old picture I took of it. Here's the modern equipment I'm using, and you can clearly see it's a bridge. Let's talk about it and why I don't think it's naturally occurring. First off, size. It's probably 20 plus miles across. Could that happen? Yes. It's not likely. But there's a couple features about it that I think pinpoint that this thing has intelligent design. If you look at the gentle arch across, and then where it goes down into the surface of the moon, it goes from that gentle arch to a little more than 90-degree angle with a V as it flares out into the surface. That's exactly the design that you have to do to make a bridge hold up over time. So I think that's very unlikely that it just naturally occurred that way. A gentle arch until it connects to the ground and then makes that proper angle with a V shape to support the structure. Second point, if you look about 2/3 of the way up the bridge, there's this giant pipe of some kind coming out off the side of the arch and then makes a sharp right angle up into the sky or up into space. So I think when you look at its size and the structure, the way it ties into the ground there, plus that very unusual pipe, there's just no way that that is a naturally occurring object on the moon. You look anywhere else on the moon, it just doesn't make sense. So that's the first structure I wanted to show, but I'm going to look at a couple more today. The next thing we're going to look at are some very unusual objects just above that bridge. You see two big pipes sticking up, and I'm going to first point out the one on the bottom. That pipe on the bottom's got a big black patch, a color that's different than the surrounding space going across that pipe. I believe, and this will sound crazy, but I believe that's some kind of a alien tech to cloak that gun so it's not as visible. And you notice, so that's just what I think. I think these are both giant rail guns, only they don't use propellant like we do here on Earth. They use some kind of an energy weapon like a plasma or a particle beam. But if you look at the one on the top, I think it's starting to show signs of that same cloaking over the barrel that you see on the bottom one. And I think that's, for whatever reason, they're trying to disguise or conceal that those guns are there. So just looking at the structure of the guns, looking at the way that there's the apparatus behind them, the big V-shaped base under them, and just the sheer size. Again, we're talking miles long. I just think it's highly unlikely that this is just naturally occurring pipes on the moon, and I think rather it's pretty clear to me anyway that these are man-made or intelligent design structures. So again, that's just a couple examples. I've got lots and lots more that I'll show you over time, but we'll kind of ease into it. I'm going to show you one more just for fun. And this may or may not be true, but if you look just to the left, look at the big we'll call it a crater. It's really not, but that big crater-like object on the bottom, then follow it out to the left, follow that lateral line. There's actually what I think is a mega sculpture on the moon. And here's a close-up of what I'm talking about, right in the center of the screen. What you're looking at is a man's face. Looks like he has some kind of a wreath on his head. One eye's got a patch or is missing. There's a close-up of it, different color filter. You can clearly see a nose there in the center, two eyes, one of them with a patch, a mouth, a jawline. Again, all these pictures, that just looks like a mega sculpture to me. And I've taken pictures over the last 18 months of it, from every angle, from every color filter, from every possible way I look at it. That looks like a mega sculpture. You've got shadow effects from the sun rays. So that's what I think it is. And you may think that sounds crazy, but keep in mind, here on Earth, we've done the same thing with Mount Rushmore. So even though this scale would be larger than Mount Rushmore, I think it's the same principle. Again, just another sign of intelligent structures on the moon. And I just want to emphasize as I show these, and I'm going to show more compelling ones over time, there are structures on the moon. I'm 100% convinced. But it's nothing we have to be afraid of here on Earth. The universe is a big place, and it's kind of naive to think we're the only ones in it. So over time, I hope to convince you all that, but in a way that doesn't make people panic, doesn't make them upset, just makes them accept it that we're not alone in the universe. So again, that's it for this episode, and as always, keep watching the sky.